Let's start our discussion about lines with slope. So slope is defined as the change in y values over the change in x values. Okay, so you might recognize this formula, change in y over change in x. Okay, that's for given points x1, y1, x2, y2. And it's also known as the average rate of change. Okay, so we start off with this definition. Change in y values over change in x values also gives us the average rate of change, and we define that as the slope, which is m. Okay, so if we're given a graph, we should be able to find the slope by picking two distinct points. Okay, there need to be points that we can read on the graph. Pick 2 points, and you should be able to find the slope between them. You can also count it, okay? You can count out the change in y over the change in x by doing the rise, which is the up and down, over the run, which is the left and right. Okay, so let's take a look over here at our picture. Pick any 2 points that you can find on the graph that you can identify clearly. So I can identify these 2 points clearly, and then I count the slope by doing the change in y, so I'm going up 2, over the change in x, which would be right 1. Up and right, almost always in math, is considered a positive change, so plus 2 over 1. So our slope is 2 over 1, which is 2. Okay, that's if I choose the blue points. Now I could choose any 2 points on this line and I would get the same slope. So let's say I went from now here to here. Would I get the same slope? I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Okay, so I'm going up 4. And then I'm going to go 1, 2 to the right. So I've got plus 4 over plus 2. That looks different, but really it comes out to be the same slope. Okay, so you can pick any 2 points on the line, x1, y1, x2, y2, and you can figure out the slope from it. Okay, now let's try it using green. Let's try using this formula. So let's pick 2 points and name them, and instead of counting it out, use the formula. Pretend like we don't have the line. So this point right here is 0, -4, and this point right here is 1, -2. So we should be able to find the slope of the line between 0, -4, and 1, -2. Okay, so name 1 point x1, y1, and 1 point x2, y2. Okay, it doesn't matter which one is which as long as you're consistent through the whole problem. So we're going to do m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, now we need to be careful with signs. That's the trickiest part of this whole thing. Okay, double check that you took all the signs with it. It looks good. Remember, minus minus is the same as plus plus. So I've got -2 and +4 on top. That's +2. 1 minus 0 is 1 on the bottom. And 2 over 1, of course, gives us 2. Okay, so that's a couple different ways to look at slope from a graph or from a set of points. Okay, now most lines work this way. Let's look at a couple of special lines though. Why isn't this? There we go. Okay, let's look at a horizontal line and a vertical line. Okay, so I got a green axis this time. All right, so there's one, and here's another one. Okay, so horizontal line and vertical lines, they're a little bit unusual because when you count out the slope, it's a little bit weird. So let's say that we go between any 2 points on our horizontal line. Okay, and remember for slope, we're looking for change in y over change in x. Okay, so looking at the horizontal line, what's our change in y? We don't move up or down, so our change in y is 0. And for this example, our change in x is 2. Okay, so there's no change in y, and the change in x can really be anything because 0 over any number is 0. Okay, I picked a horizontal line here, but it could be any horizontal line. Your change in y will always be 0. So horizontal lines always have slope equals 0. Okay, let's do the same thing for vertical lines. We've got this. Let's just pick 2 points that are on the vertical line. Our slope is change in y over change in x. So we go up 2 is our change in y. Our change in x, we don't go side to side. We don't go left, we don't go right. So the change in x is 0. Any number over 0 is undefined. Okay, so we can't give this a number, but we know when a slope is undefined, it's got to be a vertical line. And vice versa. Okay, so if it's vertical, the slope is undefined, and if you find out that the slope is undefined, it has to be vertical. Same thing for horizontal. If the slope is 0, you know it's horizontal, and if it's horizontal, you know the slope has to be 0. You can memorize that, or you can just use this technique to figure out the slope when you just draw a line and figure out what the slope is, and you can figure it out from there, okay?